Welcome to the Mesonet Weather Report. I'm Wes Lee. We just experienced the coldest storm of the year this past week. I hope you didn't lose power and could stay inside and ride out the severe weather. Livestock, on the other hand, had to face the conditions head on. For cattle, there is a Mesonet tool called the Cattle Comfort Advisor that helps managers prepare for extreme weather conditions. On Wednesday morning, the index was starting to show negative numbers in the Panhandle and single digits across much of the state. This puts cattle into the cold caution or blue color on the map. It only got worse from there, where numbers were expected to drop into almost statewide negative numbers on Thursday and Friday. These numbers move the index into the cold danger or purple category. The tool with its forecast feature can help producers feed cattle accordingly. In general, a cow's energy requirements increase 1% for each degree the Cattle Comfort Index is below 32. For a cow wet to the skin, the increased energy requirement begins at 59 and increases 2% for each degree drop. There are limits in how much and how rapid you change a cow's diet, so you may need to start the increased feed a few days earlier and continue on a few days after the storm. Now here is Gary discussing our state's moisture situation.
Thanks, Wes, and good morning, everyone. Well, this winter storm did bring some moisture to the state, but it's a little too late for this week's drought monitor report. Let's take a look at the map and see where we're at. Well, still the same basic picture for Oklahoma on the drought monitor report this week. We have the exceptional drought out in the western half of the Panhandle. That's the D4 dark red, 1 in a 50 to 100 year event. Then we have the red, which is the D3, which covers much of western Oklahoma, over into south central and north central Oklahoma. And then we have some moderate and severe drought extending over into eastern Oklahoma and parts of central Oklahoma. And then, of course, we have just a little tiny bit of the state that has no color at all. That's the no drought or no abnormally dry conditions in far east central Oklahoma. Winter just has not been kind to us thus far, despite the winter storm we just had. If we look at the rainfall for the winter so far, that's from December 1st through January 31st. From the Mesonet, we do see from 2 to 5 inches across far east to central Oklahoma. Other parts of eastern Oklahoma. Then we have 1 to 2 inches between central and eastern Oklahoma. But then when we get in the western half of the state, over into south central and north central Oklahoma also, we have generally less than an inch. And as we get farther out into western Oklahoma, less than a quarter inch of rainfall for that 2-month period. So definitely not much help there. And when we look at the deficits for that same time frame, again, 1 to 2 inch deficits over much of the state, in some cases more than 3 or 4 inches below normal. Definitely not good for the winter months so far. When we look at that percent of normal map for that same time frame, again, much of the state less than 50% of normal. In fact, when we get over into western Oklahoma, it's less than 25% of normal. So just a really dry winter thus far. We'll see where we come out after this winter storm. Now, the latest U.S. monthly drought outlook for February from the Climate Prediction Center, unfortunately, they expect most of that drought to persist across the state where it already exists. Maybe a little bit of a relief and maybe outright removal down across far southeastern Oklahoma. Now, the best part of this winter storm is where the snow fell and the ice fell. It stays right there and melts into the ground, percolates down into the soils and helps replenish that soil moisture. So that's a good thing. That's it for this time. We'll see you next time on the Mesonet Weather Report.